Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Hello, African Diaspora News family. My name is Reneilwe Morema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News Channel. I'm reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, this is a very heartbreaking moment for the people of South Africa, particularly the Black people of South Africa. We all remember Chris Hani was assassinated outside his home by Janusz Walus. He was born in Poland. He came from Poland. He was hired by God knows who, came all the way from Poland to South Africa to kill one of the most important political figure of our time, Chris Hani. This man was going to change South Africa for the better. When we talk about leaders that don't care about money and being bought, we talk about people like Chris Hani. He loved the people of South Africa. He cared for the people of South Africa, and he did not even buy face. He could not be bought with money. So he was detrimental to the apartheid government, and they had to take him out. You know, when we talk about Chris Hani, we talk about a political figure that could not be bought, that will not be enticed by the glitz and glamour of political money. Someone that loved us deeply, and I feel like he was going to change the trajectory for Black people in South Africa. Our lives would have been different if this man became the first Black South African president. Leaders like Stephen Bantu Biko, that truly loved us and was for the revolution, they took him out. Leaders like Malcolm X, that loved the people, the Black Americans, but most importantly, Africans across the globe. He loved us internally forever. Forever, eternal love. Malcolm X, they took him out. Martin Luther King, they took him out. The leaders that died or that were assassinated during the struggle, those are the type of leaders that could not be bought. Now, the ones that we see today after the struggle, the ones prancing around in the Mercedes-Benz, having expensive houses in Houghton, Rosebank, the ones that have their pictures on our bank notes, they are the ones that were bought. I mean, really, someone said it, you can't come out of prison after 27 years and you become a president. How? Which political campaign did you lead? How, Sway? Like, make it make sense. You know, when I see Nelson Mandela, I see betrayal. He is the face of betrayal. People like Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela had the vision for a free South Africa, a free, pain-free South Africa, a South Africa without segregation and inequality, a strong, stable South Africa that everyone will benefit in, both Black and white, surprisingly, that will all benefit. No one will be above anybody else. Winnie Mandela had that vision. Nelson Mandela, he was just a rider of the vision. You know, when a vision is not yours, you will not care to see it through. When you are just a face, because we know back in the day, guys, that women had little rights, no rights to little rights. I mean, even today, the patriarchy system in Africa, it's still there. So Winnie Mandela could not see her vision through, because it was not allowed. She was a woman. No one was going to take her seriously. It was still in the apartheid days, but she had the vision. So who better than to serve this vision or to ride this vision through? Her husband, Nelson Mandela, but he did not care about that. He did not care about the Nelson Mandela, before going to prison, that was a true titan. The one that came out of prison, God knows what it was. That was a clone. That was not the real Nelson Mandela. So leaders like Chris Hani, they cared for the vision, they cared to see the vision through, and they could not be bought. That's why he had to be killed. People that came out of prison after 27 years and started prancing in Ferraris and being on banknotes, those did not care about the people of South Africa, and it showed, because today we are in a worse poverty state than we were during the apartheid era, in fact. And they spread this whole propaganda against Winnie Mandela. They lied on Winnie Mandela, saying she cheated on Nelson Mandela. That's why they had to take her out. No, if Winnie stayed married to Nelson Mandela, the goal of the apartheid government will not go through. The goal of the apartheid government was to stay behind the scenes, to work, to orchestrate how our freedom will go about. Today, this orchestration we can see it live. We can see it live. Because we have nothing to our name except the so-called Rainbow Nation that we are also imprisoned to. So leaders like Winnie Mandela, they knew what it meant for a free South Africa. They knew what a free South Africa would look like. They knew what it meant for every black person on this planet to be free. They knew what it meant to see a free South Africa without the BS, without the terms and conditions, without the apartheid government being behind the scenes and orchestrating. She couldn't stand being next to her husband, who betrayed us in the first place, who was controlled behind the scenes by these apartheid anti-black government. So what did the government do? They forced Nelson Mandela to divorce Winnie and spread lies that said Winnie cheated. Winnie did not cheat. And if you can look at the line of men Winnie Mandela falls for, you wouldn't believe. If you can see the people that Winnie Mandela actually falls for, the people that really care about the liberation of the people like the lawyer Dalimpofu. Winnie Mandela, yes, during Mandela's prison days, while he was still in prison, Winnie Mandela had an affair with the young Dalimpofu. Now, Dalimpofu right now in the political landscape, he's a bull, he's a titan. These are the type of men that Winnie falls for, the type of men that will see a vision through, the type of men that will not be controlled by anybody. That's the type of men Winnie Mandela falls for. And the government destroyed that. They knew that if Winnie stayed with Nelson Mandela, their goals were not going to happen. Whatever they wanted for South Africa was never going to happen. They would lose South Africa forever. So they had to, I don't know, give Mandela a young doll. What's her name? Gracia Machel. The one that was married to Samora Machel of Mozambique. They had to give her a yes, say, yes, ma'am type of doll to look pretty next to Mandela. Like, really, just, yeah, you know what I mean, you know? So people like Winnie Mandela, if you're going to be with a woman like that, you better know your story. And the government couldn't take that. So yes, I said it, Nelson Mandela is a sellout. The leaders that made it through, the leaders that were not assassinated, that made it through, they are the true sellouts. They are the true sellouts. They are the reason why you are still living in poverty. They are the reason why there's no development or progression within the black community. They are the true sellouts. The real ones, they were all assassinated because they were for the true liberation of the black people across the globe. The fake ones are sitting in the presidential seats and having 2 million rent houses in Houghton and Rosebank. I said it. Now, to get back to the story of Janusz Walus, the killer of former South African Communist Party SACP leader Chris Hani, will be deported on Friday, the 6th of December to his home country in Poland. Well, he already was deported. I saw this article on News 24. So in November 2022, the Constitutional Court found then Justice Minister Ronald Lamola's decision to refuse Walus parole in 2020 had been irrational and set it aside, paving the way for his release from prison the following month after 28 years behind bars. Polish-born Walus' South African citizenship was revoked in 2017, but he was granted residence after his release so he could serve his parole period of 2 years in the country. With that parole period having come to an end on Friday, the 6th of December, Minister in the Presidency Khumbudzo Netshivanyi announced at a media briefing that Walus would be sent back to his home country in Poland.
Today, the 6th of December 2024, the parole period of Janusz Walus has come to an end in line with the Constitutional Court decision. Since Janusz Walus no longer holds any South African enabling documents, the Department of Home Affairs will be deporting him. This morning, the National Commissioner of Correctional Services will formally hand over Janusz Walus to the Department of Home Affairs for deportation. The handover and deportation process is being overseen by the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structures, commonly known as the NOIJOINS, following a cabinet briefing earlier this week. In preparation for this deportation, Cabinet assigned Deputy President Mr. Paul Mashatile, the Minister in the Presidency Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, Minister of Justice Ms. Mamuluko Kupai, and Minister of Home Affairs Dr. Leon Schreiber to visit the family of the late Chris Hani to inform them of these developments. During this engagement, the government delegation received a request for an inquest from Mr. Hani's wife or widow and the South African Communist Party. The request will be referred to the Department of Justice and Correctional Services to process it.
Netshivanyi said Deputy President Paul Mashatile led a delegation on a visit to the Hani family the same week to deliver the news to his wife. A joke. I'll tell you why. During this engagement, the government delegation received a request for an inquest from Mr. Hani's wife and the SACP. The request will be referred to the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. She said it means this inquest was not made public to the media. Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber, who also addressed the briefing, confirmed Walus would be deported on Friday, the 6th of December. He also said the cost of this deportation would not be footed by South African taxpayers. The lies! We footed this bill. The Polish embassy has indicated they will do so, says Minister of Home Affairs of the DA Schreiber. As Chief of Staff of Umkhonto weSizwe and the General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, Chris Hani was at the forefront of the fight against apartheid. Those are the ones that had the true vision of what a free South Africa would look like. They had to be assassinated. His assassination outside his Boksburg home in April 1993 in front of his daughter Nomakhwezi, who was 15 years old at the time, almost derailed South Africa's transition to democracy. Hani's assassination, which Walus planned with conservative white politician Clive Derby Lewis, also decimated his family. Nomakhwezi attempted suicide twice. Nomakhwezi is Hani's daughter. She attempted suicide twice, according to her mother, and was found dead at the age of 23 of a suspected asthma attack. What a sad story. So let me break it down for you. The ANC government, the GNU government, gave Janusz Walus, the killer of Chris Hani, the killer of former South African Communist Party SACP leader Chris Hani, they gave that killer first class experience to his hometown. He had police guarding him. He had private security that was funded by the ANC and the GNU. They funded that whole soiree of VIP vehicles, blue lights everywhere for a killer. That is what the ANC's legacy will be remembered as. This person came all the way from Poland, all the way from a European country, to come and kill Chris Hani, a person that truly cared for the South African people, a person that could not be bought, a person that had to be assassinated because he envisioned a true freedom for the South African people. He had to be killed because the apartheid government could not buy him. So they hired a person all the way from Poland, a professional killer all the way from Poland, came to South Africa, killed him in cold blood next to his 15-year-old daughter, and then they didn't take him to prison. We all know that Janusz Walus was not in prison, by the way. Just saying, he was sitting somewhere in a hotel for 28 years, eating luxury, living like a VIP person. We funded his expensive lifestyle. The taxpayers, the people that live in the bundus, the people that live in the shanty town that don't have food and electricity, they footed the hotel bill for Janusz Walus for 28 years. Yes! He came here to South Africa and killed Chris Hani. After killing Chris Hani, he went to this hotel and they refused. He refused, not they, he refused to tell us who exactly called the shots to kill Chris Hani. Even today, he's leaving this country without telling us who gave him the instruction to kill Chris Hani. And today the ANC want to give him VIP access and first class ticket to Poland, so he can go retire in peace with his children because he's a father. This is what the ANC legacy is. This is what the ANC of Cyril Ramaphosa will be remembered as. Sell out. Heavily guarded. No one has pictures of Janusz Walus in prison, but there are pictures of Steve Biko in prison being abused, being dragged in the streets. His head, he suffered a hemorrhage when he died from blunt force trauma. There are pictures of him circulating with his big head. Sorry for saying that, with his head big, because he's being abused in prison. There are pictures of him circulating, but we can't find one of Janusz Walus. You know why? He was at a Protea hotel. He was at Protea hotel enjoying life for 28 years, eating croissants while you eat dirt, while you eat food from the rubbish bins. Today they want to give him VIP escort to the airport, first class ticket to Poland to go retire as a father, to go retire in peace. I'm telling you, it is a joke. It is a joke. This is what the ANC will be remembered as. This is a spit to the people that died for the liberation, the freedom of the black people. It's a spit in our face. So, and then we are still going to get illiterate people from Eastern Cape, illiterate black people from Eastern Cape still voting for the ANC. For what? Because you are living in dungeons. You are living in dungeons. The amount of HIV spreading in that province, I don't even want to speak about it. You eat monkeys for a living. Your children are walking naked every day, dirty, no clothes. You can't afford anything because of the ANC, the same ANC you keep voting for, and you keep holding the country back. Yes, I'll say it. I'm not scared. Not scared. The people that keep voting for the ANC, you are the reason why we are held back. You're the reason why we are not truly experiencing freedom. You're the reason why you are enabling these abusers to keep suppressing us and oppressing us. Shame on you, people of Eastern Cape and Limpopo. Shame on you. Anyway, that's the story. I just wanted to show you guys that Janusz Walus, the killer of former South African Communist Party SACP leader Chris Hani, who could not be bought by the apartheid government, has gotten first-class ticket to Poland to go retire with his $1 billion money that he got from the ANC and GNU parties. Yes, they gave him pocket money. They gave him pocket money to go retire peacefully at a hotel in Poland. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel.